He's putting out on the internet turtles with rocket-propelled grenades. I mean, have you seen this? This is the Secretary of Defense. This is not a serious person. He should have been fired after Signalgate.
Trump administration says it did not break any laws after carrying out an airstrike on a boat 3 months ago today. The strike was notable, though, because it was multiple shots that were fired by the military, killing 2 people who appeared to have survived the first strike. And now Democrats say they need to know if war crimes were committed.
The question in front of us, and I believe there will be bipartisan investigations in both the House and in the Senate, in order to determine whether war crimes were committed and either U.S. law or international law or both were violated.
The White House is denying that any international law was broken. They are also saying that Secretary Hegseth did not give that second order to kill those people that had survived that strike. Instead, it was an admiral who carried out that attack.
But what I don't understand is it is the Secretary of State's right to determine who is a terrorist and who isn't. The Secretary of State answers to the executive branch. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has determined that these boats are carrying terrorists, which makes the attacks on them legal. And the only question is whether that boat was disabled or whether it was destroyed. If it was destroyed, how are there still live people clinging to it? And if it was only disabled, let me just finish the point, then it was still a threat, meaning it was still a legitimate target. So I'm very confused. And by the way, I've spoken to a lot of veterans today who are also very confused by all of this bipartisan outrage. I don't get it.
We're back again. Welcome to the show, guys. This Talks with Kenny, and we're going to talk about how Democrats are essentially crying over drug traffickers. Yes, you heard that correctly. Instead of American citizens worrying about our affordability, worry about our safety, worry about the fact that these drug traffickers contribute to 200, almost 1 million deaths per year by fentanyl and those other substances that they're bringing into this country. No. Democrats are not worried about that. They're worried about the fact that a boat that wasn't destroyed on the first strike was still considered a threat, and we took a second shot. That's what they're crying about. Democrat Jack Green dismisses criminal smuggling illegal drugs into the U.S. as not narco-terrorists, just people trying to make money. Wow. Usually, people are not significantly involved. It's the way they make money. Wow. It's the way they make money. Yeah, just let them bring and feed poison to your population. Yes. That's the Democrat way. And this is the type of stuff that, Democrats prove every damn day that they're America last, honestly. All right? And you saw from the intro, from a legal, they're trying to make this argument for some reason, this outrage. They're trying to feign this outrage that, oh my God, Pete Hegseth says he might be doing international crimes. Even though, what Batia's point was is that, hey, the Secretary of State gets to decide and designate what is considered a terrorist organization. And they designated that boat as a terrorist boat. Now they're asking for minimums. Oh, there's supposed to be at least 6 people according to... And I'm like, yo, are these people serious? And this is the type of stuff I talk about. Like, the liberal bias is a problem. Journalism will not be truly beneficial to the American people again until these journalists add in a new process where they check bias. That's the biggest point. They have to check bias. They have to get their stuff checked by another person of an opposing political affiliation to nudge it in the center. Because I'm tired of these one-sided narratives that they're trying to push down our throats. And when confronted with a different alternative, this is the kind of conversation you get. So here's a segment. I don't know how long I'm going to put it in this video. But I'm going to show you, a body of work of these narratives constantly being challenged. Let's take a look.
War crimes and whether Pete Hegseth committed one. The Pentagon strikes on alleged boats in the Caribbean. They are raising serious alarms from both sides of the aisle tonight, despite a debate about whether the administration has the authority to even strike the boats.
Whack-a-mole.
22 of them have
Are these
been sunk.
illegal orders?
More than 80 people killed in those strikes.
22, that's like winning
and now,
Battleship 4 times.
The reports seem to indicate that one of those strikes left no survivors, and a follow-up strike or a double tap was ordered to kill everyone on board that craft.
I don't care, guys. Oh, like at a certain point, remember Code Pink? They disappeared when there were drone strikes from Barack Obama. This is how you know the left are communist. McCarthy tried to warn you guys, okay? To be clear, they will destroy everything simply to try and gain power. In this case, it's a slow news cycle. And so they go, oh, is this a war crime? There could be no collateral damage. These people exist only to harm, right? They are transporting drugs. They do this as a career option, and no nation wants to claim them because they're going, oh, we don't have anything to do with it. So who's going to bring the charges?
We're proud to do it.
So you didn't see any survivors, to be clear, after that first strike? You personally?
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand, because the thing was on fire. It was exploded and fire and smoke. You can't see anything. You got digital. This is called the fog of war. This is what you in the press don't understand. You sit in your air-conditioned offices or up on Capitol Hill and you nitpick and you plant fake stories in the Washington Post about kill everybody, phrases on anonymous sources not based in anything, not based in any truth at all. And then you want to throw out really irresponsible terms about American heroes, about the judgment that they made. I wrote a whole book on this topic.
I'm confident that the admiral thought he was carrying out his mission,
But why is
which
it
is
questionable? Why is it questionable to order a strike to kill individuals who are survivors?
These are terrorists. Okay, these are absolute terrorists.
But they're wounded.
I didn't see this kind of scrutiny when the Obama administration was launching drone strikes against terrorist organizations in the Middle East. I mean, that happened all the time. Okay, and so I didn't see this kind of scrutiny about the survivors, et cetera. These are terrorists. They're bringing poison into the United States. They have killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. And we need to understand that. Killed far more Americans than Al-Qaeda or
So let me just be precise with you,
ever did.
Congressman.
And so I have no problem with the kinetic strikes that are happening in the Caribbean, killing and destroying the drugs that are killing American citizens and have been killing American citizens for years.
As you saw, many parallels. People are bringing up the point of Obama drone strikes, right? And I know I'm a broken record on this channel, but liberal bias strikes again. Where did they had this level of scrutiny for Obama's drone strikes? Were they questioning if it violated international law? Because on one hand, you can make the argument that Trump and his administration of war was defending the sovereignty and the national border of the United States of America, while Obama was deploying drone strikes in the Middle East, right? If what Obama did violate international order, then how is it protecting the border of your country somehow violating international order? And who is international order to interfere how a sovereign nation decides to enforce their boundaries? And the good point that Steven Crowder made, and this is one reason I've added him in the segment, is that he made the claim that no country is going to claim these people and actually file a law, because at the end of the day, you need someone to prosecute, right? There needs to be a harmed party here. No one's going to stick up for these people because at the end of the day, the Democrats' whole narrative is relying on the fact that these people aren't terrorists. How do you know these people were terrorists? Who's going to vouch for them? Who's going to vouch for them? If they're drug traffickers, no one's going to vouch for them, which is what's happening right now. Now, people know they're from Venezuela because I guess they saw where the boat came from. But you think the Venezuelan government is going to claim them? No. So everyone's speaking to the intentionalities of what the boat was for. And all the U.S. government has to do is go get the contents of the boat and say, look, they're drug smugglers. And this is where the Democrats go into this insane argument. Oh, this is just how they make money. Yeah, make money poisoning and harming American people. Yeah, we should let that in there because we're going to mess with someone's hustle, a.k.a. narco-terrorist. And you got Democrats crying about it, about a meme that he put on Twitter of Franklin, the turtle, nuking narco ships. The Democratic Party for you. Cry for everybody but Americans. Because Democrats are party first, America last. That's the reality. But, without further ado, I want to play a little bit of a commentary here to give my voice a break.
I think it's pretty simple. The president wants these boats sunk. Secretary Hegseth is carrying out the president's wishes. The president's obviously very proud that they've taken a more muscular stance against these narco-terrorists in our hemisphere. The president even said today, we've got a 91% reduction in these drug boats coming ashore and delivering things. And Hegseth even said, where's the other 9%? And so they're I think excited that this seems to be working. Number two, I agree with what they said and what's been said about Admiral Bradley. They clearly back up Admiral Bradley here. They told him to sink the boats. He sinks the boats. I mean, they didn't try to run away from that at all. And I also agree that with General Kimmett, we're engaging in a little bit of speculation here. Nobody really knows all the details about who knew what in the room and when. And I agree with Mark. I think a congressional inquiry here is warranted. It's fine. I think the administration ought to answer questions about it. And I don't think there's anything in the world to run away from. The American people want the drugs to stop. The president ran on it. He's acting on it. And they're clearly not going to stop because I think he feels he has a political mandate to do it.
And then you see the Democrats are here trying to make these arguments. Oh, they're trying to make this guy the fall guy. I don't think he did anything wrong. Yeah, what'd he do? Batia broke it down perfectly. Hey, the Secretary of State gets to decide what is considered a terrorist threat. They consider the boat a terrorist threat, and they didn't blow up the boat. The boat wasn't destroyed, right? People were still hanging on to the boat, which still made it a viable threat. And, you know, the military's job is to neutralize threats. So the second shot, you could make the argument, was warranted. So what's the case? And this is what I'm saying. It seemed like the Democrats, and this is what I was talking about for one of the reasons why I think that Democrats, the American people, should not reward Democrats with any inch of power or any inch of more power, is because we already know where they're going to go with it. They're just going to create issues. They're going to create problems to justify resisting Trump. I don't understand an exact case of why this is a problem, why they'll have outrage over this, other than political reasons. And this is why you got Mark Kelly and the likes of him and the Seditious Six trying to get the military people, the active military people, to protest Trump. Because Trump is proving to them how effective he is. And they can't stand that. And I think that goes to show, like, you know, the Democrats are threatened here. They're grasping at straws here. Like, really, you're crying over illegal drug dealers, trafficking drugs into the country. This is what you want to make a big issue out of. Really? Oh, he's a war criminal. He should have been fired. What can anyone name me in the comment section? What issues are Democrats pushing for? We know what Trump's pushing for: mass deportation, no nonsense on crime, right? He's trying to tackle the affordability. I mentioned gas. I don't know how many times today on these videos that I've been pushing out lately. What are Democrats running on? Healthcare for illegals, more immigration, resisting deportation, resisting ICE, denying that crime is a problem in certain sectors of the country. This is what the Democratic Party is doing. And what's going to be their picture of 2026? Give us more power so we can resist Trump. Putting it all, like, end of the day, this is what the problem, and I'll end it off here. Making your political strategy tangent on what the other person does always puts you at the heel, always puts you at the back burner, always puts you in a reactionary state. Because what if the American people actually like what Trump is doing? Then we're just going to resist Trump is actually going to hurt you in 2026. And honestly, it's Trump's game to lose right here. I joke around. I make a lot of jokes on this channel, but I'm starting to think this is true. Trump is the leader of the Democratic Party. Because what Trump says goes for the Democrats. If Trump says that he wants gun bans, the Democrats will resist it. Make it make sense. Because Trump's the one who said it. Because the whole Democratic platform is not making America a better country, not to help Americans. It's just to resist Trump, and they're using Americans as justification for that. They try to whittle the Americans in to give some half-ass argument for why or half-ass justification to resist Trump or whatever agenda he's pushing for the day. From his health to now this, like they just go all over the place. But they haven't offered anything of substance that the American people can actually be like, huh, Democrats, they're pushing for this. I like what the Democrats are pushing. When's the last time you heard anyone say that? All you hear is Democrats resisting Trump. Is this all the Democratic supporters want? Someone to fight Trump? But what about those in the middle? I don't think middle America wants just a party that blindly resists and fights Trump. But, you know, that's just my thoughts. Let me hear yours in the comment section below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you feel so inclined. It really does help me on the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.